The Hemp Wizard signature series artists are Walking Corpse Syndrome, So High, Black Sasquatch, Fester, You can give your beard the magic touch by going to hempwizard.net today and rock out with your... Just kidding.
And that's my cue to start the show. Welcome to another edition of the Hard Rockin' Sports Show, live from High Top Hard Rockin' Sports Studios in beautiful scenic Monroe, New Jersey. We are your 3-hour weekly get-together. We bring you all the biggest news from around the worlds of hard rock, heavy metal, and of course the wide world of sports. And guys, welcome to Thursday night, September. My God, September the 7th, 2023. And we are happy to have you aboard for the start of what is going to be a great NFL season. Why is it going to be a great NFL season? Because both New York teams should be relevant. I would tell you, we've been doing this show for 9 years. I don't think we've had a season yet where both New York teams have been relevant. Now, the Giants have had two relevant seasons in that time, 2016 and last year. The Jets have not been relevant, not making the playoffs in over 10. They have the longest streak of no playoff appearances. So this is kind of historic in the sense that the expectation for both New York football teams, and I'm not going to count Buffalo in that. I know they're from New York, but it's upstate. The expectation for both teams is playoff bound. Now, the Jets seem to have loftier expectations. I don't know why. But we'll get into that during the show. But, I think for a team that hasn't made the playoffs in 10 years, to think you're going from 0 to 160 in less than 60 seconds, I think that's a lot to ask. But it's great to have expectations, folks. Nobody wants to go into the season and think it's all over before it starts. There's a lot of teams out there. Arizona, maybe the Texans, Indianapolis. Now some of those teams have brand new quarterbacks, so there's some excitement there. But a lot of these teams, the Washington Redskins, I know you guys call them the Commanders. There's a bunch of teams out there that they know already they are not going to make the playoffs and have no shot at the Super Bowl. There are a handful of teams, probably 20 out of 32 teams, that actually have a chance to win the Super Bowl. All right, we'll see how that plays out. But right now, we're going to deal with the expectations of the New York football teams, and we'll do all of that when Jeff pops up. He's going to be a little late tonight. In the meantime, thanks for tuning in. I hope your week has been good. It was a good Labor Day weekend for myself. I got a lot of rest. This weekend, so that was a good part. It's been a crazy week, short one but crazy. One more day to it, and then we end it. We move on to the weekend. Have a couple of have a party and a wedding on Sunday. I know, for opening day of football, and I'm going to be out of the house all day. So I'll hopefully be home first quarter Giants. That's the prayer right now, that I can make it home certainly for halftime. I'm hoping to be home for first quarter, end of first quarter for the Giants. What's up, my man Adam Hines? And you guys, if you guys ain't checked out Fester, you guys have sadly mistaken. I'm going to start playing a lot of their stuff on the show. I haven't had a chance to start downloading some songs. I'll talk to Adam off the air I'm going to get into some more music stuff. Same thing for my boys at Black Sasquatch. A few other bands I'd like to feature on this show and get the word out. Good old-fashioned hard rock from Fester, Black Sasquatch, and the like. So please, please, please check them out. Fester, Adam Hines, good dude and a great musician. A really good hard rock band. If you guys are into the hard rock scene, you want to get into Fester, you want to get into Black Sasquatch. Again, yeah, I know, yeah, they're not probably household names yet. But let's make it household names. Van Halen didn't become a household name just by putting themselves on the street. Let's put these bands and make them household names. We're constantly looking for great bands to follow and get behind. Dude, everybody do me a favor. Go on YouTube. Check out Fester. Check out Black Sasquatch, Jeff Westlake. So many good bands out there. So many indie bands, bands that just, need a little push. And I'm telling you, Jeff, who is the biggest critic in the world, has downloaded some of Fester stuff on his iPod, on his Spotify or Amazon Music, I believe. He has a ton of music on his phone. And for Adam's band to make it, Jeff lives in the past, doesn't believe in any new bands. For him to download any of Adam's stuff means a lot. So I'm telling you guys, do yourselves a favor. Check out Adam Hines and Fester. And, of course, Bub and Ted and the boys at Black Sasquatch. So, again, guys, thanks for tuning in on this Thursday night. We got a lot to talk about. Remember, this Sunday, the very first edition of Diamond Talk with Joe Gansas and myself, every Sunday morning, 8 to 9:30. Joe and I will be breaking down the biggest news stories in sports and baseball. We'll be doing a baseball show from 8 to 9:30 every Sunday morning. So please tune in and catch my man Joe Gansas and myself. Something I love to talk about is baseball. We don't do a lot of it here. Jeff's not a big baseball fan. I probably get my baseball fill for the most part when my dad checks in, which we're going to bring on in a second. So I think it's be pretty cool if you guys tune in on Sunday mornings. If you're sitting up and you're looking for something to do before the pregame shows and before the games kick off, check out Joe and I. We'll get you into a little baseball, and we'll kind of take your mind off the football scene before you guys turn into fantasies and dropping your bets. Tune in for some baseball. Still a lot of baseball season left. Not much hope for the New York teams. A little bit of life from the Yankees since the switch to the rookies. The Mets, maybe they gave up on the season too early. I don't know what to tell you. But tune in this Sunday and you'll find out what Joe and I have to say right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Network. Joe Gansas and Tom Florio, Diamond Talk. Again, guys, waiting for Jeff. He's running a little late tonight, so we'll probably get the show kicked off. I hope you guys had a good holiday weekend. We officially counting down to the holiday season. Around here, the Hard Rocket Sports Show, we live for two things, football and the holidays. We'll start talking about the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. We'll start talking about all the Christmas movies and Christmas shows, which will culminate in our big Christmas spectacular show we do every year. And, of course, we'll do our year-end show for New Year's Eve. So, all these things are in sight again. We've done none of them, unfortunately. But we'll continue to do them right now as we tune in toward July 26th of 2024, which will be our 10th year in existence. So thanks for sticking around. Thanks for tuning in. Got a lot to get to. We're going to get it started nice and early right here. We're going to get my dad on right now. We'll talk a little Yankee baseball tonight. We'll talk a little about the Mets. A lot of football. I want to talk about Wolfgang Van Halen. Let's see. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers and UFOs. I know we talk about the Sasquatch guys. We got to get a little UFOs in there, so we'll get the UFO with Aaron Rodgers and Hard Knocks, and anything else that pops up in my brain over the course of the next 2 hours. So thanks for tuning in. Stick around, hang around, and thanks for saying hi. We'll look forward to keeping you guys busy. I know we'll lose a bunch of you guys when the football starts. Chiefs and the Lions tonight, gearing up here for the start of the NFL season. Interesting game, guys. You always worry. I know everybody's got the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl again, winning it again. Mahomes. It's tough, to repeat and doing what these guys are doing. Boy, oh boy, it is not going to be an easy thing. And there's a lot of expectations now on the Lions. This is not your grandfather's Lions or my father's Lions, where they show up on Christmas Day. I'm sorry, Thanksgiving Day, and everybody goes, "Oh, it's the Lions again." This is a good team. I don't know how good their coach is going to be. They're in a division that's in a flux. I picked the Lions to go to Super Bowl this year. This is a telltale game for me. They don't have to win it, but you can't get blown out. In the fourth quarter, the Lions got to be in this game, and it would be even better if they're in the lead. It would not shock me on the road opening day that they lose, but you cannot get blown out. You cannot get beat by 2 touchdowns in this game. The Lions have to make this a final drive score game. Whether win or lose, the Lions have to be in this game, come to the final drive of the game to show that they're a different team. If they show up on opening night, NFL putting a lot of, just like anything else, listen, everybody's going to watch anyway. Everybody's in tune to the season. We got past all the social justice warrior bullshit. Everybody's back and everybody's watching. So it doesn't matter who you put on tonight. People are going to tune in and watch the NFL. Everybody's hungry for the NFL. So to put the Lions on against the Chiefs, the reigning Super Bowl champs, says a lot about what the NFL thinks of the Lions. Okay, so they're throwing all their marbles behind the Lions in this game. So, guys, I'm hoping that they can exceed expectations, including my own. And I got them going to the Super Bowl. I honestly don't know who's the best team in the NFC. I actually think they got a chance. They're in a weak division. They've got a veteran quarterback. They've got some real talent at the positions. I think their defense is a little suspect, but I think there's enough there to get them to the Super Bowl. Win it? I don't know. But get to the Super Bowl, I definitely do think that this team can get there. So we got a lot to get to. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So again, stick around, buckle up, Buttercups. Let's get this one started. I'm going to get my dad on. Let's get him talking, and let's see what my pop's got to say. What's up, Pop?
What's up, Tom? How's it going?
Good, Pop. What's on your mind?
Nah, I don't know. Really, I'm torn between watching baseball and watching a football game. Probably switch over to the football mostly.
Well, I mean,
Go ahead.
No, I have to tell you, I while they are winning, the Yankees, what I like about it is there's some energy there. Again, do I think they're going to go on a run enough to make the playoffs? Probably not. But we've seen bad baseball. We've seen bad Yankee baseball in our time, Dad. You saw 64, 65 through 77, 76. You saw the late 80s, early 90s Yankees that were bad. We've become a little spoiled as Yankee fans. I don't mind bad baseball. What I don't like is uninspired and lethargic baseball, which is what I saw most of the season until now. You got to like these kids the way they play the game.
I like the way they're playing. The only thing I think I said to you last week, I'm afraid that the ownership is going to pass these kids off and come the end of the year say, well, look what we got. We don't need a third baseman. We don't need a first baseman. We don't need a right fielder. Where yourself, it takes a couple of years. Nobody can go by the first year they play ball, even the first couple of years.
No, but I think these kids have done a nice job where, you know what? I would take a mediocre year next year with a lot of excitement and a lot of energy and let these kids play. I think there's been enough there. Now, would I mind them going to get a veteran guy or two? No. Excuse me. But I don't have a problem if Dominguez comes out there and plays next year and has some bumps in the road. If it's going to make this team a better, think about it. If we struggled next year, but it set them up for the next 10 years of good Yankee baseball, you got to deal with it. So, I don't want them going to get another Donaldson or another Stanton. I'd rather them stick with these kids and let them play and see what they got.
They're trying to pass off Stanton, and I think he's going to be a lot of problems for them because they got him for about another 5 years, and you could see him. I never saw anybody deteriorate as fast as he is, and right now he's just about. The only thing he's hitting are the fastballs. You can see it, and right now he's just about getting to them. Now take him another year, another 2 years, Is he going to be able to catch up with them? And you put him on base and he's useless. He's like having, I don't know. I feel bad for
Oh,
the
you
guy.
put it, you're putting a road cone out there. I get it. Again, they've created their problems. I don't, the only way to solve that is to eat the contract. So, but they're not going to fire Boone, fire Cashman, and release Stanton. So I think you're going to see the same manager, the same GM come back. I think the philosophy is going to change. And I think what you saw is how Steinbrenner said, I don't want to hear anymore. Get rid of some of these guys and play the young kids, and let's see what we got. And I think that's exactly what you're seeing right now. I think Cashman wanted to stick with the veterans, which is why I believe Donaldson got released. I think you'll see more of these kids, and I'm happy. I'll take some 500 or worse seasons if I know the kids are out there playing hard, and 2 years from now or 3 years from now, this is going to be a 7, 8, 10-year Yankee run again with some great players. And so far, I love the way I love the Peraza's playing well. Volpe's had a good season. It hasn't been consecutive. He's had some rough patches, but Volpe's been good. Peraza's been good. So far, Dominguez has been, as advertised. They got some youth there. You bring a couple of pitchers in, clean up the bullpen a little bit. This is not a bad Yankee team next year.
No, they're not. You can't predict anything. It could be football.
No.
I mean, Rodgers could go out Monday night and get his head kicked in.
Sure.
And you just want to see them competitive. You don't want to see them getting there 0 for 4, 0 for 1 for 5. You want to see them competitive in the standings and in the games they play. And I just think I'm just hoping that they're not trying to sell on. It's a lot of money to sell on somebody like Rodgers. I mean, he's 39 years old. He's not a big guy. He's not what he used to. And a couple of cheap shots, and it hurts.
Well, let's be honest. Rodgers, while getting his team to a lot of playoff games and meaningful playoff games, championship games, has lost a lot of big games. He has not played well in a lot of these games. There is a deterioration of Aaron Rodgers' ability to this point. Now, is he rejuvenated? Where we can expect a better Aaron Rodgers? I don't think so. I think the only question is there enough talent around him? Peyton Manning, when he went to the Broncos, had a super first year. I mean, just absolutely killed it. And then after that, it declined, but the team got so good around him that his final year when they won the Super Bowl, he was bad. Got benched for 2 scrubs, yet he came back and won a Super Bowl because the defense and the running game was so great. So the question is the Jets good enough around him if he does take a step or 2 backwards to compensate? I don't know the answer. We'll find that out. It's also a tough division. It's a tough conference. They're going to have a hard time. I mean, between Cincinnati, Kansas City, I'll put the Chargers in there, the Chiefs, the Bills, the Dolphins. There's a tough spot to come out of that conference. Not counting, anybody else who's maybe a surprise or 2 out of that. Pittsburgh's going to be a tough team. So we'll see. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of great football. What you hope for if you're the Jets is comes December, the games mean something. What you're hoping, what you're praying for is that you get to December and you don't have 4 or 5 wins. You get to December, you need to have 6, 7, 8 wins, and then you're hoping to get yourself to 10, 11 and make a good serious playoff run. If that's what you're hoping for the Jets and the Giants, for that matter. Everybody's got expectations for the Jets. I got to be honest with you. I watch this Giant team. I think this Giant team is going to be really good. Yes. They had a better season last year than the Jets. They have a better offensive line than the Jets do. I think the defense, while a step back from the Jets, is not terrible. It needs to be better than it was last year. And to be honest with you, Daniel Jones outplayed Aaron Rodgers head-to-head last year. So I'm not saying he's a better quarterback. I'm just saying right now, he might be the better quarterback than Aaron Rodgers. Remains to be seen. So I think this is going to be an interesting season, and I don't mind the Giants being in the background. As a Giant fan, let the Jets get all the hype and let the Giants go win some games and win another trophy. That would make me happy.
Well, what I feel, and I'm hoping I'm right, is it's going to be tough. When the Giants play Sunday night, you're hoping that not only whether they win or lose doesn't bother me. Mm-hmm. It's only the first game of the season. It's their competitiveness that they're not being made fools of.
Yes.
That you can see Dallas can beat them anytime they want to beat them. You want them competitive. I mean, listen, everybody knows the first 2, 3, 4 games, a lot of teams are, but you don't want to go 1-4, 2-4.
Nope.
You're hoping for competitive.
Well, you're hoping to play. You listen. At the very least, you want to be 500 coming out of the first month of the season. You want to be 2-2. You want to be 3-2. You want to be 3-3 heading into the middle of October. And listen, while this is obviously for any team is not the end of the season. I talked about it early. If you're the Lions, you want to be in this game last drive. Whether it's you're up and the Chiefs have the ball last drive and they go win it, or you have the ball and you have a chance to win with the last drive. You want to be in the game. For the Giants, it's a little different. The Giants are 1-11 against the Cowboys the last 6 years. Yeah. The Giants at home, while it's not a must win, this is a big win. This is a big game for the Giants. There's no moral victories. You need to establish yourself in your division and go out there and beat this team. Cowboys are not a great team. They're beatable. It's opening day, and they're on the road. If you're the Giants, you kind of got to win this game. Moral victories don't count on this one. Now, they can go, 16-1 the rest of the season, and this game means nothing. For me, as a Giant fan, I want them. They need to win this game for me, and put notice to everybody else. Hey, this is a different Giant team. We'll see if it happens. But this is a big game. This is a bigger game for the Giants than it is for the Cowboys. And again, not a must-win. Doesn't mean the season's over if you lose it. And moral victories are moral victories. But for me, I want the Giants to win this one. They need to come out there and show the Cowboys that they're different.
They have to get respect.
100%.
Respect.
100%. 100%, Pop.
You're right. All right, Tom, I'm going to let you go.
All right, Pops.
Enjoy the rest of your show. And
I will.
See you over the weekend, definitely.
You will absolutely see us over the weekend. I'll give you a buzz tomorrow.
I appreciate it. You take care. Have a good show.
Thanks, Dad. That's my Pops. He checks it every week. It's nice to have him on as we wait for Jeff to join the show. But in the meantime, I'll expand a little on the Yankees because I'll save the football for Jeff. Again, it's great to watch baseball when it's meaningful, when it's played well. Again, we've been spoiled as Yankee fans. I've been watching Yankee games since I'll say 75. I went to my first game in 75. I was 8 years old, I think, or 7. But I've been following baseball for real since 77. That was my first real year. I remember the 76 World Series. So I watched a lot of great Yankee baseball. I got to see some great players. I got to see some great baseball, and I've seen some bad baseball. I was around for those late 80s, 88, 89, 91, 92, 93 Yankees that weren't so great. I've seen the core 4 plus Bernie. I've seen some great Yankee baseball. So again, do I expect it every year? Yeah, to a certain extent, but I understand that this year it's different. It didn't work out so well. But what I don't like to watch is uninspired, lethargic, lazy baseball. And for a good part of this year, that's what we watched. And I think that's what bothers me more than baseball where you lose. Sometimes the other team is better. Sometimes you play in divisions or in conference and leagues where the other teams are just better. So what happens? Teams like the Yankees and for a good part the Braves, we've been riding for 30 years, 20-something years, top of the leagues. that doesn't happen often, especially in today's day and age with free agency and salary caps and whatever, all that stuff. Teams like the Patriots and teams that have gone on long dynasties, and this, like, you can say what you want, it's only, in the last 20 something years, since let's call it 30 years, the Yankees have won 5 World Series. Now, it's been a while since the last one, but you still won 5 World Series in 30 years. There's teams that haven't won any. There's teams that haven't won in 30 years. So, I'm all for retooling. I'm all for revamping and changing the way things go. But what I don't like is uninspired and lazy baseball, and that's what we've seen from the Yankees for the most part of this year. Now, Judge is out of the lineup. You got some young kids, but Donaldson, Rizzo, Torres has been in and out all year. They got rid of Hicks finally. IKF is a nice fifth, kind of guy off your bench. These guys aren't going to do it, and the baseball was bad. It was just uninspired, and that bothers me more than anything. And I'll take what I see now. I've watched some decent pitching. I thought Schmidt pitched well the other night. Cole obviously pitches great every night. Rodon has not been terrible the last few starts. The bullpen's okay. We could shore that up a little bit in the offseason. The bullpen, maybe grab another starter. You can't count on Severino anymore. You got him. I don't know what's going to happen with Montez and some of these other guys that they picked up in hopes. Just hasn't worked out. But if I you need a left fielder, whoever that's going to be. But if I looked up next year and it's Dominguez, Judge, and a quality veteran left fielder, Volpe, now you got to fill in short, third and second. Rizzo back in first, healthy. Combination Wells, Higashioka, behind the plate. I can live with it. Give me that going into the season. So I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to some decent Yankee baseball. Now, having said that, the season's not over, and if they can go on a bit of a run here, who knows? Even if it falls short, to me, here's what it comes down to, guys. Every team wants to make the playoffs, but not everybody does. What I say all the time is play meaningful games the last month of the season. If you're in football, December games got to matter. When you get to December and the games mean nothing, that's rough. When you're playing baseball and you've gone through the marathon that is a baseball season, and you get to September and the games mean nothing, that's bad. So to me, right now, the Yankees are playing meaningful baseball. Now, can they win every game? Can they go 22-2 or 23-3, depending on what they need? Is it 23-1? Whatever it is to win a playoff spot, I doubt it. But play meaningful games where at least we're sitting there going, hey, did the Blue Jays win? What did Texas do tonight? You want that. And if it falls short, it falls short. Okay? We've had plenty of seasons where the Yankees won 90-something games and lose the wild card game. So, basically, those seasons were just one extra game. Just play meaningful games in October. That's what you want. I'm sorry, in September. If you get to October, it's all meaningful. But play meaningful games in September. So right now, the Yankees are playing meaningful games. Now, can they sustain this? I don't know. They have a game tonight they need to win. And then you get 3 games in at home, finishing a homestand against the Brewers. And then you're going on the road for 4 games in Boston. Here's the season. You got to win 2 of them. If you lose tonight, they're down 2-0 in the second. But if you were to lose tonight, and I think it was just it's 2-1, Torres just hit a home run, 2-1 to Detroit in the bottom of the second inning. So if the Yankees were to sweep this series, and win 2 out of 3 this weekend, it sets up a really great week. 4 games against the Red Sox, who have gone on a severe downhill spiral. They're still ahead of the Yankees. So there's a chance by the time the Yankees get Boston, I think it's Tuesday or Monday, that they could actually be ahead of Boston or tied with them. So, but play meaningful games. That's all we're asking for. Nobody expects them to win the World Series every year. Nobody even expects them to make the playoffs every year. play meaningful games in the last month of the season. It's the same thing I'll say about both New York football teams. When you get to December, I want to be able to look and say, well, if so-and-so loses today and we win, okay, that helps. And we need this one to – you want that in December. If you don't have that and you've checked the box on, let's play for the draft pick. As a local fan, you've kind of put the season behind you. Now, with football, especially with our show, we're diehards. We follow the game because the show is basically built around it. So, but I would, again, I'll say it one more time before I pick up Jeff and get him on the show. All I'm begging the two New York football teams is let's get to December. Let's get past Thanksgiving, digest our turkey and homemade pumpkin pies and whatever else you guys eat for your feast. And let's get to December, counting down to Christmas. And there's Christmas Eve games, I believe, this year. And let's say, okay, I got to get and a Hemp Wizard gift card because the beard's a little funky this year. And how are the Jets doing tomorrow? And the Buffalo win last night. How about let's get to December and have that. All right. So again, guys, Hard Rocket Sports, Jeff and Tom, 7:30 here on the East Coast. Glad to have you guys aboard. Remember, we do this every Thursday night, 7 o'clock to 9 o'clock every Thursday night. And a lot again, we're rebirth tonight. The show starts up. We got plenty to talk about. We got a check-in from above from the Raider Report and Dom Ginta, and of course our recurring character. I think I'm not sure what Jeff's named that character. So, but we got some check-ins from our esteemed migrant as he makes his way to Denver. So we'll get to that a little later in the show. And again, the rebirth. We got Chiefs and Lions starting in about a half an hour, 45 minutes. So I'm assuming we'll get a lot of people hanging around till then, and then we'll lose a few of you. But in the meantime, guys, stick around, hang around, and get ready. Buckle up, buttercups. Here comes my partner in crime and the sexiest man on his side of the screen, Hefe Talwinski. What's up, pal?
What's going on, man?
Kicking the show off, my man. Just kicking off the show.
Sorry I was late.
It's okay.
I believe migrants have bought a establishment in my area.
Really?
That provides people with services such as pizza. And these motherfuckers took forever. And I was hungry and I didn't want to eat on the air. So I'm sitting waiting. We called at like 6 o'clock and it took forever.
Listen, no problem. My pop stopped there for a few minutes and I've been filling the air with some football and baseball talk. And Jeff, we'll start the show off like we always do, and then we'll jump right into it. Jeff, how was your week?
Well, a good week this week, actually, because I only had to work 4 days. So, I got about so much vacation time that I'm taking. I'll be working 4-day work weeks for the next 12 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah.
Will that take you right up to your usual December vacation?
Yeah, we may back off a few days to see a way. I don't want to, go below a certain mark with my time, but I have plenty of time.
Well, that's good to hear.
Don't want to use it all. But
Understood.
Today, I can't see it, but my dog is out there. I don't know if you can see the bed.
I can see the bed, but I really can't see anything on the bed.
There. Is that her there? Crazy. Nah, she's there.
Okay.
Bed with me. My wife tells me every week she looks to come upstairs. So
oh, nice.
Took her up tonight. So she's over there.
All right. Well, Jeff, we've we always say the show from February through September is basically a fill-in for football. It's just the show is built and geared around the football season, and it's that time. It's opening day of the NFL. It's almost kind of like the Super Bowl Sunday is. It should be a holiday today because basically the football season kicks off. And are you, I'll ask you two questions. First one is, are you excited about the season?
I'm excited about the season for a couple different reasons.
Okay.
Would you like me to list them?
Please, and any order you'd like.
Okay, one. It's as a Jet fan, I'm interested in to see, what the outcome is going to be for the Jets. Mm-hmm. Was Aaron Rodgers worth the trade? See how this all goes for them. I'm hoping that that of course that it works out for them and that we get a little something out of it. And then two, I got to think about the fantasy football team.
There you go. That was my second question.
In that, because I was going over some injury reports, and there's a lot of injured players to start the year.
Yes, there is
this year, and fuck those people. None of them seem to be on our team, so we're hitting the team. We're hitting the season relatively healthy.
That's
so
true.
Hopefully we get a leg up on some people, but there is a but. One of Patrick Mahomes' favorite targets, Travis Kelce, is not playing tonight.
That is correct.
But because it's Patrick Mahomes, I'm really not too worried about that. I think he'd still have a good game if it was me or you playing.
I think yes. I would agree with that. Now we do have our quarterbacks up, but let me ask you this question. I've seen it with my own family. Like my sons grew up not huge sports fans. Didn't really watch a lot of sports with me. They occasionally pop onto a couch and watch a game with me, but now they are rabid fans. They started out with fantasy football, and that drew them in. And of course, online gambling has driven everybody into the mode. While you're not an online gambler, you have now caught the bug of fantasy football. Does that make you follow the league a little closer than you might normally follow it?
It piques my interest in a couple different ways. Not for nothing, it is something more for us to do, me and you. This here way we strategize.
Yep.
And we try to figure out what we got to do. Like last night, or when we were talking about the team, I didn't know that you wanted to do a video call. And I thought we were just going to do it over the phone, or else I would have had the what do you call it ready, the computer ready. But if you remember last year, we were having weekly meetings.
That's true. Online.
So hopefully that was a way to hang out together a little bit more and
sure.
Other than the show. So it was cool. We were trying to field the best team that we could. That was always a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as the season goes, that'll get more and more interesting because guys get hurt. Who you're playing each week, we'll get a better idea of the team, other teams, and who's doing what, and then of course waiver pickups and drops and maybe some trades.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot of fun, but I was always into sports.
Right.
Look, who has to come on at the right fucking time? We were horrible. Get the fuck out of here, this guy.
Frankie, listen, at the very least, all you can say is that we gave it a shit. We literally, yes, every week on Tuesday night, or Tuesday or Wednesday, but mostly Tuesday nights, we would get together and we would video each other and we'd sit there and go over the squad and who we were playing. And we started out great. I think we were 3 or 4-0, and then it just kind of bottomed out for us. And we put
the most points in the league last year.
That is very true.
Look who it is, the other fucking guy now.
Nice to have everybody here again. Opening night football, big. Again, Jeff. Not to change subjects too fast, but it's interesting tonight. It's a showcase game. You get the Chiefs, the Super Bowl champs, at home. A little dinged up, no Chris Jones. He's out on a holdout. Travis Kelce's hurt, but it's Patrick Mahomes. It's Andy Reid and the Super Bowl champs. And who does the league decide to put up against them and kind of showcase? The Detroit Lions. And that's it. It's an interesting take for me because, that tells me that the league thinks that the Lions are going to be a better team. And
it's got like 5 primetime games this year.
Yeah. And again, I picked the Lions to go to Super Bowl this year. I didn't say win it, but I picked the Lions out of the NFC to go to the Super Bowl.
They're going to be on fucking TV every fucking Sunday. You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. So
if they do good, watch. And if they have some games, watch. They'll get another one, I bet you.
Oh, yeah. Listen, there's some flexing going on. But, this is an interesting time because, let's be honest. Most years, The only time you see the Lions is when? Thanksgiving Day, right? The Lions are on, and most people are going, all right, I've had enough of the Lions. Can we get rid of the Lions? Can we get rid of one of these traditions where we got to watch bad Lions teams play football? Even the bad Lions teams back in the day, you had Billy Sims or you had Barry Sanders. The last decade or so, I mean, other than Calvin Johnson, you haven't had much.
No, they haven't. No.
So, but this is interesting because, what I said opening the show tonight, Jeff, and maybe you'll disagree with this, is I think this is a huge game for the Lions. And not in the sense that you have to win the game, but if you're the Lions, you can't go to the fourth quarter and be down 2 or 3 scores. If you're the Lions, this has got to come down to the last drive of the game. Whether the win or lose, whether they're winning and the Chiefs get the ball and drive down, or they're losing and they drive down and don't score or score. To me, the Lions don't have to win, but they got to make this a real competitive game. And then people are excited because nobody's expecting the Lions to go to Kansas City and open a night and win a football game. Nobody.
I got bad news for you, Tom. It seems as though that the Lions are picking up some steam. A lot of people, maybe they're not expecting them to win the Super Bowl, but they're definitely expecting them to do good and to be a force. Sure. And I did see in at least one spot where somebody said about them possibly winning the Super Bowl, getting to the Super Bowl, which I don't know. I like the Lions too. I always liked them because I watched them on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
But I mean, as far as them, going to the Super Bowl, I don't know. It would be cool to see them go to the Super Bowl, but I don't know. I don't know about that. That may be a stretch.
I agree. Listen, I 100%. I think it's more about, I don't think there's a team in the NFC conference that I would say is a lock. I mean, if you look, most people picking the Niners. Who is the Niners quarterback that you're that confident in that, think about this. Purdy was your guy, got hurt, and they fell apart. If it happens again, and again, we're all banking on, some of these people banking on Purdy being great. What if they got to go to Sam Darnold for the season at some point? So who else? The Eagles is probably the best shot, of repeating. The Cowboys are up in the air. The Giants are a maybe. The Saints are a big maybe. Who else is any good?
I honestly, the way I see it, I would say if I had to pick teams right now, okay, I would say 49ers, Cowboys, Dallas, Philly. Okay. I think that Minnesota is going to take a step back.
I agree.
This year. Seattle, they didn't seem to do much, but I mean, listen, until he comes back down to earth, you kind of got to put Seattle there. The next wave of teams that I would start to pick, I would have to say, would have to be Detroit, maybe Chicago, if they get their act together. I don't have a lot of faith in them.
Nope.
Maybe the Giants, New Orleans, and then the rest of the teams are just kind of muddled at this time to see who's going to, get better or not. But I'll tell you this much. I see the Cardinals being one of the worst teams, one of the Rams being one of the worst teams.
I agree.
I think that Carolina has a lot of upside.
Well, I mean, they have a young quarterback, so who knows? But I think you're still looking at a bad year out of them this year with him going through growing pains. And I don't think he's going to be a great NFL quarterback. I don't think he's going to be bad. But yeah, I mean, what are the Packers going to do? Where are the Redskins?
Out, aren't we? And Tampa Bay. What's going to go on with Tampa Bay with their quarterback situation?
Yeah, there's a lot of question marks in the NFC. I think in the AFC, I could probably give you the top 7 or 8 teams, 9 teams, pretty easily. But in the NFC, I think there's a big question mark. So let's stick to the topic of the Lions. I think this is a huge game for the Lions because what you don't want to have happen is the same thing for the Giants on Sunday night. And I'll get to that next. But to me, if you're the Lions, you have to represent yourself well tonight. You got to go out there and be in this thing late in the fourth quarter and have people say, okay, that was a tough game. They showed themselves well, and boy, oh boy, I'm looking forward to the next game. What you can't have happen is going to halftime and it's 28-3 and the game ends 35-21 with a late score. People will back off for them. Now, again, it's not, Jeff, it's only one of 17, but for me, this is a huge game for the Lions. Win or lose, they have to be in this game.
They're playing a big team. What is Broncos Giants Super Bowl? Broncos win 39. Do you have a fucking carbon monoxide alarm in your house, bro? You should really, if you do, get the batteries changed, have it hardwired. Something is wrong with you, man.
And you know what? Before we lose Frankie Cat to the game, I want to play. We've got another video from our esteemed migrant who is traveling the country.
I'll tell you right now, we need to have him live on the show one day. I got to see what he's like in person, man.
We're gonna get Frankie on. I promise.
He comes over. Is there any way? Is that video ready that you can hit him up with it before he goes anywhere?
Yeah, it's ready right now. I'm going to play the video right now.
Yeah, play the migrant video. Yeah,
we're going to play it. So our esteemed, what is our friend's name again?
I don't think his name has been really
addressed,
revealed as of late.
Well, we'll see. Maybe down the line he will tell us who his name is. But in the meantime, he's the masked Denver Bronco fan. He's traveling, trying to make his way to Mile High City. He didn't make it for opening day, but maybe he'll get there in time for some of the season. Let's hear what he's got to say this week, Jeff.
It is I, the Lucha Libre. I am trying to make my way up to Denver. Oh, God, such a long walk. I do not know what to do next. I cannot get any closer to Russell Wilson than I was when my journey started. People, they point at me, they laugh over my mask. And they say, what is wrong with you? And I say, I am a Broncos fan. And they say, that explains a lot. I do not know what they mean by that. But I am still making my way to the Broncos and to see Russell Wilson. But I'm here to give you my prediction. I'm telling you now, the Broncos will win the game. No, they will lose the game. No, they're going to win the game, without a doubt. Yeah. No, wait a minute. No, this week they're going to lose. No, I think they're going to win. I do not know what the Broncos are going to do. I will let you know next week what they did this week. Until then, aha!
He seems to be a bit confused. And the funny part is, our second guest of the night, their teams are playing each other this week. So the Broncos and the Raiders are opening up this week. A couple of AFC West teams, and much like Pepe, as Frankie's calling him, or Lucha Libre, as he's indicated his name is. I think there's a lot of questions on both teams. Listen, I don't know what to expect out of the Broncos this year. They'll be a good defensive team. What they get out of this offense, can Sean Payton turn around Russell Wilson from what we saw last year and the end of his Seattle time to now? I don't know. Let's be honest. Sean Payton, I think, is a little overblown. The guy made one Super Bowl. He had arguably the top 3-4 quarterback of that generation, and did not do much with it from a championship success. He made a lot of playoff games. He won a lot of football games, put up a lot of points. Did they have a lot of playoff success? No, Jeff. So I think a big thing is going to be, if he doesn't turn this team around, and it's more importantly, this quarterback around, I think it's going to tarnish the legacy a little bit of Sean Payton.
Well, I don't know if it's going to tarnish his legacy, but I would definitely think if he doesn't turn Russell Wilson around this year, that Denver has a lot of choices to make and pertaining to quarterback, and none of them are going to be good for Russell Wilson, because if he's been there for 2 years, and I understand it would only be 1 year under Payton, So, you may want to go another year, but I don't know. But 2 subpar years, I don't know. What do they do? Go for it and try a third time? I don't know. I don't think so. I don't think it was going to happen that way. But listen, however good that defense is, right off the bat, I know that Jerry Jeudy is out, injured. I don't know if he's going to be playing. And there was a couple other players that will and well, if he doesn't start that good, but Frank, how long do you go before you bench him? 3 games, 4 games, half the season?
I think you got to play him, Jeff. I think I kind of agree with Frankie. I think you got to play him. First off, the contract dictates it. 2, I don't think they have any money. What's the answer? It's not like they drafted a high number 1 draft pick or number 2 draft pick, and you got a guy there waiting to play. So to me, you're playing Russell Wilson, and the best you can hope for is that eventually it kicks in for him and he plays well. Otherwise, you're going to a guy behind him, and what do you if you bench Russell Wilson, it's going to be near impossible to come back from that, right? It's going to be near impossible to bring him back from that. So,
not necessarily. It depends on what the situation is, and Frankie said that they will bench him if he doesn't start good. He didn't say that they're not going to bench him.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't see it. I think he would have to be horrendous to get benched. I mean, horrendous. Frankie, who's your backup this year? Yes, they will be a run-heavy team, but they're still going to expect him to throw the football. I mean, they're going to throw the football in that division.
They have to. He has to throw the football.
Yeah.
But you know what? If something happens, if his receivers are right out of the gate are coming out, one of his receivers, maybe his top receiver is hurt. So that isn't going to be a help.
Yeah. Last year we were picking that division to be one of the toughest divisions in football. It didn't work out that way. The Chargers, while making the playoffs, shit the bed in the playoffs. The Raiders weren't very good.
He's not the best of
Jarrett Stidham. Yeah. I think this year it's kind of the opposite. What are the Raiders going to be? What are the Broncos and the Chargers? What are they going to be? I think it's an interesting division this year. I think it's up for grabs. I still think the Broncos are probably the best team in that. Oh, I still think the Chargers are the best team.
In that division?
Yeah.
Oh, it's got to be the Chiefs.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm forgetting the Chiefs are in that division. Yeah, I apologize. I'm thinking they're in the other division. Yes, the Chiefs are still the. I apologize. Yes, the Chiefs are still the top of that division, and then it's number 2. And I still think the second best team in that division is going to be the Chargers. I think they'll make the playoffs. They'll be one of those teams that get there. But again, what are the Broncos? I don't know. They need Russell Wilson not to carry the team. You're right, Frankie. They're going to run that. They're going to run the football there. But you need Russell Wilson to go back to being part of what he was in Seattle, where he can move in the pocket, make some plays, throw the ball a little bit, and be a better than game manager. And if he does that, if they can bring him back to being that, they'll be a very successful team. If they don't, it's going to get ugly. Because to me, you can't bench him for Stidham. You just can't do it. Stidham couldn't play on a Patriot team that had no quarterback and a rookie quarterback. Can't. There's no way in the world he's gonna start out there and do anything well.
So. Listen, you're not in the strongest of divisions. So you do have a little wiggle room there. I mean, you have Kansas City, yeah, but last year the Chargers, they were like 10-7 or something like that. Maybe 11. I don't think they were 11-6, 10-7, maybe 9-8. I don't remember exactly what their record was last year, but I know that they weren't near the top of the division, and I don't see Vegas being a threat to anybody in that division either.
No, definitely not.
So I mean, Denver, if they play smart and they play, solid, I don't think they're going to take the division, but they definitely have a shot at second place.
Oh, yeah. Again, there's I think there's a lot of divisions up in the end. That's one of them.
Regardless of who's the quarterback.
Yeah.
Because Garoppolo could get hurt sitting still.
Yeah. Yes, very much so. I
ask him about his knee. If he blows
Yes, very, very much so. But listen, it's open tonight. It's a lot of rookie quarterbacks playing. Bryce Young's going to start. Anthony Richardson's going to start. Desmond Ritter's going to start playing. A lot of young quarterbacks going to start in the NFL this year. Broncos had lost 8 games by 1 score, and they had a running back that fumbled and a head coach. Yeah, you know what the funny part of that last part is? As bad as Nathaniel Hackett was as a coach for the Broncos, it's quite the opposite as offensive coordinator for the Jets. It's like he's a genius, and I'm sure he's a brilliant mind, and he'll do wonders probably with Aaron Rodgers. But I heard the other day where if the Jets were to fall apart this year, the leading candidate to get the head coaching job is Nathaniel Hackett because of his relationship with Aaron Rodgers. And I said, my God, could you imagine a scenario where the Jets say won 5 or 6 games this year, they fired Saleh, and they hired Nathaniel Hackett, who arguably may have been the worst head coach I've ever seen? Holy cow, that would be insanity, Jeff.
Listen, time will tell. I don't think that I don't think that the Jets are going to have that problem this year, to be honest with you.
No, I don't. No. I'm not saying.
I did see something completely stupid.
Which was what?
Which was like the Jets are going to go like 14-3. Somebody predicted, and I'm like, I don't know about that.
Yeah, I think it falls somewhere in the 11 to 12 game range. I think the problem for the Jets is it's a tough conference. I could see 11 or 12. I probably, if I was picking, and I think I have already said 10-7 this year, I think it's a legit wild card team. And then I think it comes down to, can they get hot in the playoffs like anybody else? So
a lot of people are predicting that Buffalo is going to have a down year. A lot of people. I've seen it in one-on-one spot that the Buffalo, the window's closing. Buffalo is the team they once were. And I think Stephon Diggs, is on.
Yeah, he's not happy. Absolutely, yeah.
I think he's also injured.
Oh, I didn't see him injured, but I know he's not been a happy camper with his role out there. And yeah, Jeff, I'm with you. I still think they're good enough to win that division, the Bills I'm talking about. But it would not shock me if somebody else stepped up there and won it. That's what I'll say.
That was actually Adam Thielen that I was thinking of, not Stephon.
Oh, okay.
Tom, I may have to go in the other room for a quick meeting.
Go ahead, do what you gotta do. I'll fill for a second or two.
Let me try to get rid of this now.
Go ahead. It's again Hard Rock and Sports, Jeff and Tom. While we're waiting for Jeff to make his deposit, I agree, Frankie. I do think that with Josh Allen, they'll be fine. I think they'll win their share of games. Again, I've said it 100 times, and I hate repeating myself, but I thought 2 years ago when they lost that epic game to the Chiefs in the I think that was the division game. That was their year. That was the year that the Buffalo Bills were supposed to win the Super Bowl, and losing that game, I think killed them. Last year, while still a good team, playoffs, all of that, it was different, and you just never had that feel that they were a great team. He's a great quarterback. He may be to me, he's probably, if I was picking, he'd be the prototypical quarterback I would want. Big, strong arm, can run, get himself out of trouble. Mahomes is probably the better quarterback right now, but if I was picking a quarterback to draft, Josh Allen's the guy. So, but yeah, I think there's a reliance on him. I don't think they've gotten better. We'll see. And I think that division's tough, boy. I don't know what they make of Miami, but I think they're going to be a better team. And I think the Jets are obviously going to be a better team. I don't know what to expect from the Patriots at this point. I really don't know what the Patriots are going to be. So we'll see. You okay there, Jeff?
Yeah, totally unexpected, man. It was actually just just a quick storm.
Okay, listen.
Windstorm. One of those wind shears.
I got you. As long as you're feeling good and we have no. Did you hear about the plane that took off from, I want to say it was Atlanta, and was flying to somewhere in Europe. I don't know if it was Spain or something.
I know exactly what you're going to say.
And the guy had explosive diarrhea.
Yeah.
Down the aisle, and they actually turned the plane around because they said it was a biohazard. Could you imagine what the aisle must have looked like for them to turn the plane around? Think about it. That's got to be at least an 8-hour trip. So I don't know how long you're in, but let's say you're an hour into the trip. You got to turn around, come back, clean the plane or get a new one, and then refly the 8 hours there. That's insane.
I read the story, and what was insane is how long the whole situation took. Said something like a 8-hour plane ride took like 16 hours with switching off the planes.
Yeah.
I could tell you one. When I worked in Sunset Park, there was a pool there. And one day, somebody let loose with some spray, a chocolate spray in the pool. I was fucking crying because I didn't see it. Unfortunately, I would have loved to have seen that shit floating around in the pool. I would have been crying.
Oh my God.
Yes, but somebody had the squirts in the pool, and they had it's a big thing, man.
Really?
Oh yeah. First of all, everybody makes fun of New York City pools. And believe me, I do not go in pools. I've not been in a pool in over 20 years. But I can tell you this much. New York City pools, their germs do not survive, because the Board of Health says you have to have a chlorine reading of like 1.0. The New York City parks pools, they make it 3.0. So like germs go on fire as soon as they hit the water. And that's one thing. Second of all, because this kid shit in the pool, they had to get everything out of the pool, everybody out of the pool, get everybody off the deck. They had to lower the water level in the pool, shock it, then fucking put new water in it. And then I don't know if they opened it later that day or they had to hold off until the following day to open it up. But it wasn't just like, okay, everybody back in the pool, we skimmed the shit out, and like we were cleaning up after the Exxon Valdez and used Dawn on a few ducks. There was a lot more involved than that, man. So that plane, I don't know, but like, what did this guy do? Or this person, did they drop their pants and just like, leave trails throughout the drink, chemtrails? So
I don't know. That's the funny part. They never really kind of said what was I never got the whole story of it. I did see some of it, but I thought it was interesting that somebody pooped on the floor, and they brought the plane back and they called it a biohazard.
I would love to see pictures of this plane.
Jeff, I have it on good authority that I have the video footage from your poop in the pool. It's that I believe this is the actual footage of that.
It very well might be.
Hold on, I'll play it for you. Tell me if you recognize it. This supposedly is the video footage of people in your pool trying to get out when they discovered the poop in the pool. Tell me if you recognize any of this.
I sadly was not there for any of this, so I can't say anything. But oh my God, this was fucking great.
People say that this was the actual video footage of the people trying to escape the duty in the pool that day. Do you recognize this as the reenactment of that situation? I'll have to ask if you recognize that. And was this the biohazard cleanup of the pool that day, Jeff? Some say this was you in the mask, in the gown.
I have nothing to do with pools.
I'm just saying. Some people think that this was your job. You were the guy scraping the bottom of the pool.
No, not
and
at all.
Discovered the duty. This is Bill Murray playing the Jeff character in the pool. Still a classic scene from Caddyshack, folks. If you don't recognize the movie, you should shoot yourself, because that's one of the great movies of all time. What did he eat? What the fuck was it? The plain menu. Yo, no, it's funny that you say that, Adam. I have a big thing. I don't normally travel a lot, but the last year or so, the last couple of years, my wife and I have flown quite a bit, and I have a rule. Because of the way the bathrooms are on the planes, first off, they're small, and you got 100 and something people sharing basically 2 bathrooms.
Then what, you don't eat like 3 days before the trip?
Well, you certainly don't eat in the airport, because whatever's in the airport, I think they put extra grease in it, and the minute you get on the plane, you feel the rumble. Now, Jeff, like anything else, you don't have to go to the bathroom until somebody says you can't go to the bathroom. Well, but all of a sudden, you got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah,
so,
was.
I am a big proponent, one, of pooping in the airport before I get on the plane. Whether I got to go or not, I got to go. 2, I try to avoid the bathroom on the plane at all costs, because I'm a bigger guy, and being in that bathroom is not fun to begin with. Trying to poop in there is impossible.
You know what? I have to ask questions about this. I've only been on a plane back and forth once to Denver. Okay. And I think I went in the bathroom to take a leak, and it was a long time ago, so I don't remember the layout of the plane other than it being fucking tight. Yep. So yes, I can understand like how to get in there and to actually pinch a loaf is got to be difficult. My question is to clean up. How the fuck in God's name do you get enough elbow room to move around and maneuver?
You got to stand up.
Well, of course you got to stand up. I mean, man,
stand up.
Pretty big. So, I can have, if there was need be people to help me out in there, there's room for 2 or 3 people.
Now, you never get a second person in there. So that's out. Here's where the airlines screw up. Now, I'm not a big proponent of the bidet, but if you're ever going to have a bidet anywhere, it's there. That's where you throw a few jets up there. You clean it. You're cleaning it out. A little dabbing, and you dab it so it's dry, and you're back to your seat. Cleaning up is impossible.
Have you ever used a bidet?
I've never used a bidet.
Okay. Now here's my question with a bidet. I never even seen one.
I've seen them. I've seen them quite a few times. I've never actually used one. But go ahead.
I've seen the concept. I know the concept.
Okay.
If you're not careful,
you're
going to spray everything.
Correct.
And then with the possibility of spraying your clothes.
I don't know about the clothes end of it. You definitely have a chance to get some cheeks wet.
Well, of course, you're aiming at something. I mean, unless it comes with a little camera, so it could show you the aim.
There's no periscope on the bidet, so you kind of situating it and you give it the quick squirt, and then you got to hope that you kind of reposition yourself.
Well, I would think, Frankie, if you're saying you got one, what is the PSI on that? Because if you're letting loose with a thick one.
Now I got it.
The regular faucet pressure is not going to.
We're going to need Frankie one of these weeks. Give him a link, camera in hand, phone camera in hand. He's going to take us into the bathroom and show us the operation of the bidet. He doesn't have to sit on it, but we need to get a bidet kind of tutorial.
No, I'll jet out of here. I don't. His love for the Broncos means his love for the bidet may be too much for him to not show us how it operates, and we don't need to see that.
It is strong. I tell you, I think if anybody ever needs a bidet, it's on a plane. But again, back to the guy must have ate. I'm going to say airline pizza, pepperoni, right before, because I'm telling you, I've had the airport pizza on the way out. Never on the going to the plane, but leaving the airport, you get off, you're starving, you grab a slice, and you can't make it through the other side of the terminal before you go, all right, hold on.
Really?
I got some business. It's basically cheese, pepperoni sitting on just a slab of grease.
Like a slab of gunpowder?
Yeah, it's just, you might as well light the fuse and just take it right to the bathroom, throw it right in there.
See, oh man, as we get older,
Frankie, that's way too much.
As we get older, our shutter speed definitely slows down, so you're not going to be able to clip it quick if, God forbid, there's an accident waiting to happen.
Yeah, listen.
This person, I would love to know all of the parameters about the plane incident.
Yeah.
Male, female, young, old, diet, what happened? Were they sick? Was it as they were going, running down the aisle? Were they unloading as they were going?
Oh, yeah. And I'm thinking the guy's got to be, whoever it is, and I'm thinking it's a guy. It's got to be a guy. And he's going, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. And it's just dripping down the aisle. And then you get to that point where, where the cart is in the way, because, when they're serving the meals, or the snacks or the drinks, the carts are blocking. You can't get by. Like, you have to kind of wait till the cart passes and then duck into seats. And you're all, I mean, it just must have been like just piles everywhere.
Did he OJ it over the cart, you think?
Well, if he tried to OJ it over the cart would have to have been hazmated. Yeah, it'd have to be hazmated. So
there's a lot of red stickers all over the plane, I would imagine.
At that point, everybody's coming off. The grounds crew is wearing the white Tyveks with the masks, gloves. The people getting hosed with the foam, the firefighting foam.
Are you saying that if you had an aisle seat at that point in time?
You got front row seats.
Front row seats, but there's a chance that you also got sprayed.
Oh, it's like being in the front row at SeaWorld.
Oh my God!
You're getting splashed, and there ain't nothing you can do about it.
Oh God!
Oh yeah. So think about that. You're in a plane, and the air just gets recirculated. If that's a stinker, forget it. That plane's. Forget the fact that plane's being a biohazard. You're putting at the end of the runway, sticking a sign on a for sale sign on that thing and moving on.
Oh yeah, this is one where
one of the great stories of all time.
Bots or something.
Oh yeah. You're selling everything but the seats and the rug. Everything else is for sale.
Hey, can you imagine the pilot too? He's shitting the plane. Fuck these people. Shut off the air conditioner.
I got a better one for you. You're the pilot, and you got to say, SOS, we're turning around. We got a biohazard. What do you got, a bomb? Sort of.
Yeah, well, the bomb went off. That was the problem.
We've let off a dirty bomb on the plane.
Yeah, literally dirty.
Literally, a dirty bomb has gone off. We got to turn around. What happened? Somebody shit in the aisle. I think about that. I want to hear. That's the black box conversation that I want to hear. Someday, somebody's got to pull that one out and go, all right, we're letting this one out. How did the pilot explain to the air traffic controllers that we're turning around?
I think the story
had
a what do you call it?
A happy ending.
No happy ending. But I mean, that guy now has to know, like, this went around the globe. This went around the globe. What the fuck?
Oh yeah, no. Listen, this story, I heard this on sports radio, on news stations. This story is everywhere. So I'm shocked. The one thing I'm shocked that it hasn't wound up like on Facebook with a bunch of memes yet.
Passenger filmed explosive diarrhea trail.
They filmed it. Come on.
I'm looking at it right now.
Oh my God. Yeah, we definitely needed more information on who did it. I do want to know what the person ate. I want to know what they ate and when they ate it, because I guarantee you it's airport pepperoni pizza. No doubt in my mind.
Oh my God. Oh my God. No way. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Literally.
Dude, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to send this to you. That's how fucked up this is.
I'll look it up on YouTube so I can.
Listen, put man shits on plane. Right? That's what you got to put on. Man shits on plane. And then it's the first one that comes up.
And
it says passenger filmed explosive diarrhea trail. Click on that. Go ahead, do it while we're on air so we all can watch you laugh.
Oh my God. I don't know if I can laugh. I'll throw up.
You can do it. You can do it. And then you're going to have to go all the way down. An aviation enthusiast earlier shared an audio transmission between the pilots. Oh my God. And it says stained and soggy paper towels were strewn about across the floor. Oh my God. Oh my God. Are you going on this? Are you looking for this?
I'm on it right. Wait. There was one with the.
It's the one that says Insider.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. I've hold on that. They went back to the plane itself. They're showing the plane as it lands. Oh my God, that was fucking nasty to start with. And then you see the paper towels or whatever that is on the floor.
That, you know what? I bet you the cart was in the way and he just
oh
right
there. Oh my God. Yeah, I think you're right. I think he just got stuck in the middle of the aisle and had no other choice. Oh my God, that is fucking nasty. That is fucking hysterical. Oh my God, that is fucking hysterical. What was that saying?
Did you hear that?
What?
If you look in that article, it says that there's the audio for that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and
oh my God!
If you look at the audio, the pilot's like, "Yeah, we just had a passenger that had diarrhea through the plane." Oh my God, that is
fucking hysterical. Oh my God, Festa a no shit list. He's got to be on the no fly list. That is funny. Yes, that guy has got to be barred from ever getting on a Delta flight ever again.
That guy might have committed suicide.
Oh my God!
You got to remember something. Here we are on Staten Island. This was a plane that was going to Spain.
Oh
this
my
guy
God!
Gets out of the seat. Let's go through the scenario, okay? This guy gets up out of the seat. He knows he has an emergency. He's chugging towards the bathroom. Whatever happened from when he stood up till he was moving towards the bathroom, he just started to shit himself and shit all over the plane. Bad enough that happened, probably on a full plane.
Oh yeah, sure.
So now all of those people are going to go home with the story of a lifetime to tell. How many of those people were trapped in their seats because they wouldn't been able to get out of their seats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you got that now. Now he finds out that it's on every fucking news channel. It's on every newspaper.
Oh my God!
Like, what do you do? What do you do? Do you go get plastic surgery, change your looks, and then go move to another fucking part of the world?
I got a good question. What does he do for the rest of the flight? You know, he's obviously shit his pants. There's shit all over the floor. Is he got to go to his seat? Did they make him sit in the bathroom the rest of the time? Like, what is the? I mean, you can't clean yourself. It's impossible,
dude.
It's impossible.
I'm thinking at that point in time, he's praying that he has access to his bag.
I mean, think of this. He shit so much that it went through his pants, down his leg, and left a trail through the plane. Oh my God, I want to throw up. Think about how much poop that is.
A lot.
Oh my God, that is hysterical. I would tell you, I would probably never no shit list. That's fucking funny.
I'm glad as I'm trying to fucking type this, I'm putting in the person who shit themselves on plane. I want to see if it was a male or female.
In the meantime, while I got the chance, we played Lucha Libre. We're going to catch up with our friend in the hereafter, Mr. Dominic Ginta, who we miss dearly, and catch up with Dom's his exploits on his Raider report.
You got an opening line for the fucking Post. It was one of the crappiest flights of all time. Video allegedly showing the aftermath of the biohazard incident where a Delta passenger couldn't contain their explosive diarrhea and forced their flight to turn around has surfaced on X. The poster that goes by the name of Zancy Swanson said the footage obtained by TMZ was from his little brother's flight out of Atlanta, Georgia last week, which became infamous if it was rerouted when someone shit up and down the aisle. The video clip shows a brown trail down the center of the plane with paper towels on most heavily soiled areas in an attempt to cover up the unsightly mess.
Oh my God.
The Friday flight from Atlanta to Barcelona, Spain was forced to turn back and around about 2 hours into the 8-hour journey after the pilot air traffic control that they had suffered a biohazard incident on board.
Dude, they drove 4 hours with poop on the plane,
Well,
on the floor.
Hours.
Yeah.
2 hours.
Well, no, wait. I'll guarantee you it's an hour in because by the time they got the radio in, all this got worked out, and they decided to turn the plane around, it had to be another hour. So it's an hour turning it around and then 2 hours back. Dude.
I don't know. They're saying they were 2 hours out. So the plane had left already 2 hours, and then it took them 2 hours to get back. So that would be the 4 hours.
Okay.
But it's.
Oh, my God. That is fucking.
It shows what looks like. Oh, an ad just popped up. What looks like the trail of human feces from the center of the plane toward the front. Flight pillows were left hastily on seats by the passengers who had to deboard the Airbus A350. Oh, wow.
Oh, my God, is fucking unbelievable.
Confirmed the passenger or made it to the final destination. So there was no word on who it was and everything else. But, just this is, oh, wow. One of the lines was great. Footage obtained by TMZ. TMZ. Oh my God, those people get footage of everything.
Yes, they certainly do. Imagine this is it. Let's get a little word from the hereafter, and then on the other side we'll talk a little more football. We'll take your up till 9:00 with Jeff and I. And thanks for tuning in. Remember this Sunday morning, first episode of Diamond Talk starring Joe Gansas. I'll be co-hosting this show, 90 minutes, this Sunday morning, 8 a.m. right here on the Hard Rocket Sports Network. Diamond Talk with Joe Gansas and myself. So make sure you tune in this Sunday, catch a little baseball talk, and, of course, come back each and every week. Football season starts, folks, so this show will kick off and will be predominantly football. I got some music stuff to get to with Jeff. We'll be going right up to the 9:00 hour. So stick by. Let's get a little word from the hereafter.
Hey guys, it's me, Dom Chinta, reporting from heaven, trying to get the Raiders into the Super Bowl. That is now my new goal in the afterlife. But there's a few things that I'm going to let you in on, okay? Heaven is not what you think it is. No. It is all not white clouds and angels. It is not. It is a regular neighborhood, a middle-class neighborhood at that. They let just about anybody in up here. It's a shame. Also, you would think that Jesus rides a cloud from place to place. Negative. Jesus drives a Prius. I couldn't believe it myself. I was like, the Son of God driving a Prius. He's gone green. Speaking of green, it's going to be the Raiders and the Jets in the AFC Championship game. Mark that down. Raiders are going to squeak it out.
Wow. We learned a lot there. First off, Jesus actually drives a Prius. It's interesting.
Well, he is a hippie.
He wears the sandals, got the long hair. Yep. Jesus is a full-fledged hippie driving the Prius. First Raider report, we got the prediction for the AFC championship game with the Jets. And of course, the Dominic's beloved Las Vegas Raiders. So not too far off what we would have thought he would have predicted. And one interesting point, you're going to have to remind Dom that we could see it, so we know it's him. He doesn't have to announce that it's him. But I get it. He's always been a little different when he doing his thing.
Well, listen, I'm sure that when he's up in heaven and whatever it is that he's doing up there, is the bar open 24/7? Is time a problem up there? I don't know.
Yeah. Well,
can they drink nonstop and not get drunk? We don't know the frame of mind that he's in. I don't know. I can tell you this much. It would, we'll know a lot more next week at this time.
All right. Well, again, Lucha Libre crossing the country and Dom Genta reaching out from above. They'll be back and forth all season with us. Dom will be giving more insight into his beloved Raiders and the AFC and the AFC West and football in general. And of course, we'll track Lucha Libre or Pepe or whatever his name is in his journey to reach the Mile High City and meet Russell Wilson. Maybe you'll get a chance to meet Russell Wilson. I don't know, Jeff. We'll see how it works out for him.
We can only hope that for his sake he gets to meet his hero.
That's true. Again, yep. We'll see how it got the game on. We have an opening day of football.
I can hear you. Keep going. I just got to check the dog.
Sure, no problem. Jesus drives a Prius. There's a strong. It's somewhere. Yes, Adam, I agree with you. There is definitely a song in that statement. Very funny production for that one. Thank you to our partner. Yes, Jesus drives. Sounds like a country song. Like that. I've got this real. As Patrick Mahomes takes the field, I have this. I've been listening to nothing but country songs for the last 2 months. I was on a big Queen kick, and now I'm listening to Trace Adkins and Toby Keith and Chris Cagle, and Jesus Drives a Prius is absolutely a country song in the making. So if anybody out there has the time, the effort, and the ability, please write a country song that has the line, and Jesus drives a Prius. That would be, I would pay money for that. I would absolutely pay money to have that recording, Jeff.
It would be funny, man. But listen, shit happens. Right? When these videos are being made.
Literally, Jeff, shit happens.
On the Delta flights. Yeah. I don't try to plan anything. I just let it happen, and that's why you got 2 videos so far apart today.
Yes.
I do them last minute, so I'm not overthinking, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, I gotta do the video, and then I do them real quick. So whatever's on my mind at the moment is what comes out, and then I thought about it. I'm like, man, Jesus driving a Prius. How cool? How fucked up is that? How cool is that? From the hand, man, you know what I mean?
It is fucking funny. So, guys, stick around for the year. We got plenty of comments coming from above and, of course, from across the country, where 11 million undocumented people have crossed into our country, attending our schools now, and we're paying for them to live in this country. But that's a whole different show. As the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes start their next season. Right here, Mahomes looks like Mahomes so far. Anyway, let's talk a little about the Jets, Jeff. Big game Monday night, but interesting talk. I'm not a big fan of the bravado when it comes to teams, but it's got out there that your beloved Jets defense thinks they're going to be not only very good but historic. They are. They think they're going to be in the area of the 85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens, 2 of the greatest defenses of all time. They think they have a chance to be better than that. First off, do you think that's the case? But B, does it bother you that they're putting that out there before the season even starts, kind of overhyping things maybe?
Well, them saying it week 1, before week 1, yeah, definitely. It's just stupidity. Them saying it in week 8, when they're actually doing it, it could be another story. I think that anytime that you say something like that, you're giving the league, never mind other teams, but the entire league, chances to use your quote as bulletin board fodder. But you also have to look at it this way, Tom. What do you want anybody to do? Do you want some guy to come out on an interview and say, like, listen, I think we're going to be better than last year. Last year we were 24th in the league against the run and 25th against the pass, 26th overall. And this year I think we're going to be around 17th, 18th. And, that's big, man. That's really big. And we're going to be right up there with like the 74 Chargers. And, nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to hear that.
But saying you're going to be really good, saying you're going to be great is another thing. Saying you're going to be historic, that's a little much, I think.
Well, yeah, I agree with you, but I would rather them turn around and oversell and overhype than to turn around and say, like, listen, hey man, we'll settle for anywhere from 10 up is fine with me, man. That's cool. That's where we feel as though we are. That's, I want these guys, especially the defensive guys. I want them to have an attitude. I want them to be going into the season, thinking higher of themselves than they might actually be. I want to see them be able to play it and back it up, of course. I think it's a little soon for them to say something like that. Listen, nobody really wants to hear their team totally, blow their own horn out of the water like that.
Yeah. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't come out there and think you're going to be a great team or a good team, but to come out there before the season starts, before you play one down, and say, "Hey, we're gonna be better than the '85 Bears or the 2000 Ravens," two teams that I hated, but are amongst the top football defenses of all time. I think it's a little much, and it just puts the target on your back. Like, listen, if you go out there and you stick it to everybody, that it's fine. But if you struggle at all this year, boy, you're going to look back at that and say, should I have done that?
Well, of course, you're going to know that you shouldn't have done that. And C.J. Mosley, I'm not going to say he laughed it off, but he acknowledged what was said, and he was pretty much like, maybe we need to tone it down a little bit, so to speak. But this is one of your team leaders too. This is not C.J. Mosley. Reed, I believe, is who said it.
Yeah, Reed said it. Yep.
Yeah, he had a good year last year, but listen, I don't think that Revis and Cromartie would have said that years ago.
Yep.
So like you had one good year, back it up, have a second good year, a third good year in a row. But listen, let's see what happens. Right now, it's 50-50 that they could do it. So they still have a chance to do it. So let's see if they back up what they say.
Listen,
dangerous. Dangerous without a doubt, but they have time to back it up.
No, listen, 100%. I think. Listen, all I can say, this might be the most complete Jet defense that I've seen. I don't know if there's a hole. I'm still questioning the linebackers a little bit, but the depth and the quality of their front four and the back four, to me, is impressive. I mean, everybody, has, a couple of injuries and it changes everybody's team. But on paper, Gardner, Reed, the safeties, Quinton Williams, that whole crowd up front, that is as good a group as there is in the league. Now, again, at linebacker, we'll see. Is Jermaine Johnson going to be any good? The kid McDonald, is he going to be any good? Mosley, is he going to stay healthy? There's a lot of questions, but boy, oh boy, the front side and the back side of that defense is going to be really good. It should be really good. And I don't know about historic, but certainly really good.
Historic, I don't know. I agree with you there. It's kind of hard to say historic. Possibly, really good and make people say, look at them and be like, wow, this is, maybe the offense ain't no good, but, this team could beat you 10-7. So, this is big.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah. I think it's going to be an interesting season. Again, we've gone through it 100 times. It's all about playing the game now. Who is Aaron Rodgers this year? Is there enough talent around him to, Jeff, we've talked about it with a lot of these other quarterbacks in the past. At some point, the talent goes away. We talked about it with Tom Brady. Was it ever going to happen? It kind of happened the last year, but he still threw for 5,000 yards. Is there going to be a time where Aaron Rodgers looks more like Peyton Manning in his last season than Tom Brady in his last season? I don't know, but there might be enough talent around him where it won't matter. You know what I mean?
Well, listen, we're going to find out very soon.
Yeah,
they'll be playing within a couple days. The first couple games isn't really going to make a difference to anybody because not everybody got a chance to play in a preseason game or play that much in a preseason game. So they got to get their game legs underneath them. And then once that happens, we'll definitely see where it goes from there.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. Yeah, again, I think we've gone through the last few years. wow. Look at the Lions, boy. I believe a fake punt in their own end in the first quarter on fourth down and a couple yards, and they get the first down. A little surprise play by the Lions, trying to grab some momentum. This is I guess a Lion team that's just going to play for it all. Let me see the replay. Yep, it's a fake punt. The ball snapped to the up back and just a surge, and they get the first down. Jeff, they were inside their own 20-yard line against the Chiefs at home, and they went for it on fourth down and a good yard and change.
Man, I hope all they did was piss Mahomes off.
Yeah, they might have. They might have. But, if you're the Lions, you got nothing to look. You got nothing to lose. You just got to put on a good showing and play well. I mean, that's just, go out there and leave it on the field. Our guy Jahmyr Gibbs seems to be featured tonight, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. What's he doing?
Not a lot so far, but they are giving him the ball a few times, so that's a good sign that he may turn into a big back for us this year. We need a little help. So our fantasy team is going to is kicking off its season. Jeff's second year of our Hard Rocket Sports team. So we'll see how it plays out tonight. But still some more to get to. We're talking some football. Big season for New York. Jeff, we talked about it when we did the training camp show. I'll talk about it again tonight for our last few minutes for both teams. It's this is the first time since we've been doing the show, and it's the first time since the Jets had the 2 years where they went to the AFC Championship game, same time the Giants won their second Super Bowl on the Tom Coughlin, that both teams had, and there was no expectations for the Giants that year. This may be the first time in a long time, and maybe since the 80s, that there are sincere expectations for the Jets and the Giants in the same season. It's interesting.
Yeah, it is. But, it's hard to swallow that a New York sports team, two New York sports teams, could go without getting into the playoffs for so long.
Yeah.
It's kind of disgusting if you think about it. There should be people that want to line up to come over here and play. And it just didn't seem to happen. Or the right players should really stay. Not that the players. We got plenty of players to come here.
Yeah, not the right ones, obviously, or the right ones at the same time. Listen, it's definitely it's different, this year because you're not going to the season where you're saying, they'll win 5 games, they'll be lucky to win 6 games, they'll be out of it before Halloween. This is a season where a lot of people, especially in the locker room, think the Jets are a Super Bowl bound team. I'm not saying Super Bowl winning, but they think they have a chance to get there. And most people are predicting the Giants to at least be a wild card and be in the playoffs. So, this is it's going to be an interesting season. It's different again when you go out there. Gibbs, nice run by Gibbs for about 15 yards. It's interesting when you go out there and you have to do with expectations in lieu of surprising people. So it's fun. I think it's going to be something interesting. Not quite 15, 12. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. I think I've said before about the Lions, Jeff, that I don't think the Lions have to win this game. I think it's the opposite for the Giants. And my point for the Giants is it's another home opener or another Sunday night opener also against the Cowboys. And they've won 11 against the Cowboys in the last 6 years. While it's not a must win, while it's not a season-breaking loss if it happens, I think the Giants have to come out Sunday night at home on a nationally televised game against one of their rivals. The Giants have to win this game. Again, they can go 16-0 the rest of the way, and it won't matter. But for me, as a Giant fan, I want to see a win. I don't want to see a moral victory. I don't want to see a good effort. The Giants have to win Sunday night because it's the Cowboys. You're 1-11. It's a national spotlight, and you want people to say, okay, last year wasn't a fluke.
No, well, of course, but once again, Tom, I honestly and truly think that the entire league is going to get off to a very different kind of start this year, more so than other years. A lot of people didn't play much. You made fun of Mekhi Becton a couple weeks ago. What did he play? Like 8 plays?
Yeah, and X'd out, yes. Yeah.
I mean, he's already out of the first game. Well, they held him out of practice, so who knows what's going to happen as far as his first game. But a lot of these guys, a lot of these players did not get to play. And we always say that, okay, if they played a couple downs or maybe a possession in the first game, maybe 2 possessions in the second game, a half, maybe into the third quarter in the third game, fourth game, that's it. They don't play at all. Now, they didn't play the first game. Maybe they played a handful of plays the second game. Maybe they played a couple series the third game. There is no fourth game, so that was it. So, you got guys that played less than maybe 20 players. And there was a couple injuries this year in practice. They didn't even get injured in the game. They got injured in practice. So, you just don't know what exactly is going to happen. When are these guys going to be conditioned enough to go out and play a full game, a full meaningful game? Mm-hmm. If they're not good until week 3 or 4, a team like, Kansas City could be for some reason 0-3 without Kelsey. And it could happen. They could end up losing several games that they're like, that's not good. What's going on here? And you don't know. You do not know what's going to happen with these teams. And I would not put too much on an early season loss, whether it's game 1. I would say the first 3 or 4 weeks is I'm not going to say it doesn't count. Of course it counts, but I don't think that these players are going to be conditioned to play and in top game shape by that time. Well, you got a piano now?
That's my virtual background.
As the stone fireplace, I'm like, you made an upgrade in the apartment, I see. Then I go to the piano and realize that ain't yours.
No, it's not mine. As the Lions scored the first touchdown of the NFL season, a touchdown pass from Jared Goff to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Beautiful crossing route to get on the board. 7-0 Detroit first quarter. And big momentum. Go for it on 4th down inside their 20. Turns into a huge good gamble for them, and they've turned that into 7 points. So 7-0 Lions early in this game. Yeah, Jeff, I agree with you. But I get
real quick. Jared Goff, 5 of 8, 53 yards for 1 touchdown. Patrick Mahomes, 2 or 3 for 15 yards. So, oh my God, come on, fucko.
Well, we have 2 quarterbacks in this game. We only played 1 though, and maybe the wrong one. Who knows?
Yeah. And by the way, Jahmyr Gibbs, 3 carries, 18 yards, a long of 17.
Oh boy, yeah.
He's very Barkley-like. Not good.
Well, I go back to it. Well, again, not crushing if the Giants were to lose. I just think it's one of those games where you kind of got to go out there, look at last year. The Giants opened up the season against the Titans, a game most people thought they were going to lose on the road. They went out there, big 2-point conversion, going for it on 4th downs, and they win the game, and it changed the perception of the season. And I think an opening day win at home against your rival team that you're 1-11 against. I mean, Shepard's been on the team for 8 years. He is 3-13 against the Cowboys. I mean, and 1-11 in the last. He opened up, I think, 2-0, and then has gone 1-11 since. I mean, that's just pathetic. So I think it's a big opportunity. I think both teams need it, but the Giants need to win. The Jets can deal with it's the Buffalo Bills. It's Monday night. It's a different scenario. I think the Jets should just want to see the offensive line play well and the defense chasing Josh Allen around, and you'd be happy after that. It's different for the Giants. They need a win. Again, not killer, but they need a good win there is perfect. So,
well, time will tell. And like I said, regardless of what happens, it's early. I mean, I understand why you want to see a win, and that's understandable. But still, it's still early. You don't want to really lose early to a division rival, but it is what it is.
I would agree. Again, Hard Rocket Sports at Chef, and I'm Tom. Every Thursday night. It'll get more and more interesting around here, folks. Every week when the Jets and Giants play, October 1st. October 8th, the boys are getting together to watch a game in Staten Island. And, of course, October 29th, the Giants and Jets face off. We have tons of milestone games along the way and a lot of football talk for you between now and the Super Bowl in February. So stick around. We got a lot to get to still. Hey, by the way, I saw a lot of the videos from last week's show. You guys did a nice job out there. How was the big event, Richmond County Fair, and how'd you feel leaving the stage?
It was good, man. It was good. It sounded good. There was a couple, some parts that weren't so good because the sound was kind of off. It was kind of hard to hear, but overall, it wasn't a bad show.
Okay.
With minimal mistakes, and we went through it well. We it is what it is. I'm looking forward to the next one already, which is in October.
Oh, you got another one in October for 25?
Yeah, 25 missions. That's going to be a dog event, a pet event. And we're looking forward to that one too, of course.
Uh-huh.
But listen, any show, but the big shows, they're coming, man. They're coming. There's been
here we go.
What do you mean? There you go. What are you talking about?
Here we go. Oh, we got the announcement. But the big day after it was the day after Thanksgiving with the Remorons take the stage again.
It is November 25th.
November 25th, and then December 30th.
Thanksgiving, yes, and then December 30th. Your predictions were wrong.
Of course, my predictions were right. They were right on the money.
Your predictions were wrong, as you said. God. That it was a new member that would be announced.
I said the best thing you could tell me is you're gonna have a new member, which didn't happen.
Of course, it didn't happen because we don't replace our morons.
Oh my God, no! You couldn't replace them. You could not replace the morons. That's for sure.
We go out there. We're gonna kick some ass. There's already talk of new songs being added to the set list, which is exciting.
Now, did we see you online downtown Manhattan at some sort of Ramones tribute spot? Is that did my wife spot that last week?
That is Bowery and East 2nd. That is Joey Ramone Boulevard or Joey Ramone Way or something like that. And they named the street after him. And I guess I wanted to get my picture taken underneath the sign, being a Ramones fan. So that was cool.
Do you consider yourself a Ramones fan at this point? Like if you turned and you would say you're up there in the Pantera, Iron Maiden category as far as your fandom?
My taste in music has changed immensely in the last couple of years due to the fact that I wasn't able to find people to play with. And the Ramones was something that when we started it last year, it was just fun. It made music fun again because we had fun doing it. We had fun playing it. If there's a mistake, we look at one another, we smile, we laugh, and we keep going. I can't find I stopped looking for a metal band to play, and I'm having a lot of fun with Billy and Bill Graziano. Mm-hmm. It's a lot of fun, and it made me play differently because I'm not playing metal anymore.
Right.
So Ramones is, the next best thing to not being in a metal band to playing for some of the stuff that I like. It's loud, it's hard, it's quick. It's fun. We put on wigs. It's a different persona when we're out there. Just a lot of fun.
Well, I'm glad you're having fun. It looks like you guys are having fun. And again, I saw the 25 missions vids, and you guys look like you're having a good time, and it sounded great. Billy always brings it to a good show. They did a lot of our benefits over the years, and a good job by you guys, and looked like the people were into it. So congrats and good for you guys. Looking forward to some more happenings for both bands, and it looks like I'm going to be in town now for Thanksgiving weekend. I was going to be out of town right after Thanksgiving. Looks like I'm going to be away before Thanksgiving. So I will do my best to come to the Ramoran show. Not a huge Ramones fan, but I happen to be a fan of yours and a couple and your boy Johnny Collins. I always like to see you guys perform whenever possible.
Well, we would love to have you at whatever show you could show up at. And listen, what we're all about is taking the naysayers and making them believers, man.
Oh, so would I be considered a naysayer because I didn't buy into your fake announcements?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's fine. That's fair enough. I won't argue.
Without a doubt, man. We are here to show you the light, so to speak.
Well, you better turn up the light because I ain't seen it yet. But I will tell you, I did see the Morons in there in inaugural event. And it was fantastic. It was tight, and it was very Ramones-like. You want to hear a band if you're covering a band, you want to stay true to the band. And I will tell you, they did. I bet you there isn't one guy in that band who's a true, full-fledged, lifelong Ramones fan, but they nailed it. The ugly, gritty part of the Ramones came through in the songs, and it was a lot of fun to listen to. So
got to be honest with you, big Ramones fans is Chris the drummer and John the guitar player. Chris has played in several different Ramones bands. Has actually even played on bills with the Ramones over the years.
Nice.
And John was just a huge Ramones fan, and me and John Collins became Ramones fans as time went on, to be honest with you. So those guys had a Ramones background. John the guitar player had played in another Ramones band. I don't remember who they were years ago.
Right.
Yeah, you're right. It was a long time since they did it. So, to channel that energy and bring it forward, it's always a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. Listen, and again, it showed in what you guys were doing and how you did it. So I give you guys credit. A lot of fun doing it. So, like I said, I'm actually going to be in town. Looks like, at least, we haven't kind of figured out the exact part of the trip yet. But when we do, I will do my best to be there, and I should definitely be in town for the 30th, which is about a year. Bet the Lions to win. They had to pay Franken. I should hopefully be in town for New Year's this year. So, like I said, I'd like to try to get out to some shows. In the meantime, we'll be here every Thursday night doing this. So you can definitely catch Jeff and I here, and anytime we're going to be out doing something, either whether it's together or single. We'll definitely let you know what's going on. Mahomes is starting to put a drive together right now, headed down. He's inside the 20 of the Lions. Started the second quarter, so stick around. There should be some points being scored here, and Jeff and I can use some for our fantasy team.
Listen, I'm hoping Patrick Mahomes throws for about 180 yards with 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and maybe goes for another 125 yards. Okay, and 3 scores. And Jahmyr Gibbs, man, I seriously hope that you get like yards rushing today. So please, let's get it on it. Let's get it going, guys.
That's it. We're facing Matt's matchless team, so we need a W. I don't want to start off with a loss to Matt. So we'll see, but we'll keep you guys updated on all of that and all of Jeff's doings with the band. And, of course, check out Diamond Talk with Joe Gansas and myself every Sunday morning at 8 o'clock. We'll be doing in the air 90 minutes of baseball talk. Well, I don't know. We have just some talk going for a while, maybe just the regular season, and pick it up again next year. We'll see how it goes. We'll see what the interests are from people, and we'll see what the schedule's allowed. There goes Mahomes taking off, for about 20-something yards. Nice job by Mahomes.
Tell him to stay still for a little while. We need to pace yourself, Patty.
Yeah, he's headed for the goal line, Jeff. One way or the other, we're getting points here. So we'll see what happens.
I got to ask a couple baseball questions.
Go ahead.
All right. I noticed before you were talking about the Yankees when I got on.
Yep.
So I got a couple Yankee questions for you.
Go for it.
Now, I understand that they're in last place right now and starting to maybe catch up to themselves a little bit. That's maybe the best way to put it at this point in time. Are the Yankees, do they have a serious shot at a wild card this year, do you think?
Serious shot? No. Do they have a shot? I said it before. Even if they lose tonight, which they are at this moment, they need 2 out of 3 against the Brewers this weekend, and they need 3 out of 4 or better against the Red Sox next week. The problem is they have to jump the Rangers, the Blue Jays, and somebody else to get there. So
Red
Sox. There it is. Do they have a serious shot? No. Can they? Yes. I don't see it happening. They'd have to go like 20. No, sorry. They have to go like 17-6, and they need the Blue Jays to go like 7-16. It's just impossible. But they do play the Blue Jays 6 times over the course of the next few weeks. So at least it's interesting, and it makes September worthwhile. That's the best I can say.
Yeah, well, listen, I noticed that they were above 500.
Just over, yes.
Right now at this point in time. So I don't know if it'll translate to 500, by the end of the season. But the one thing I will say is that year after year after year, for almost 30 years now, the Yankees are contenders at this time of the year. I think there was only one year that I know of that they did not make the playoffs. Is it
2016? Yes.
As a Yankee fan, what are your thoughts? Like, if this team doesn't make the playoffs, what do you suggest they do?
First off, I want to let you know that Patrick Mahomes just threw a touchdown pass. So they are on the Chiefs are on the board, and Mahomes is on the board even better for us. You know what, Jeff? I like I said early on, and I was talking to my dad about it. I don't care that the Yankees don't make the playoffs. I mean, of course I care, but it doesn't bother me. You've been doing it for so long. It doesn't bother me that they're even losing games. Shit happens. My problem for it is they're an unenergetic, lethargic, boring team, and I think that's the worst part. At this point, they're playing all the young kids. They're playing well. I don't think there's anybody's losing their job. I'd be shocked if Cashman or Boone lost their job. They just got brand new deals. So I think you're going to see the same group back next year. I just think the question is going to be what kind of team is on the field. So I do think that if it turns into next year the same way, then I think it's a different story. But this year, no, I think you'll see the same exact guys running the show next year. I'd be shocked if you saw different.
I'm talking I'm not even talking about front office people. Okay. He said front office people, as much as they are a part of the team and make the fabric of the team, they are not the team. They're not on the field. They're not on. They're not in the plays. They're not doing this. Who do you see leaving and going? Like, do you see them getting rid of Stanton? Do you see them adding starting pitching, relief pitching? What do you suggest that way? I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah. So that's even a better question. They need a left fielder. I would bring in a veteran guy, somebody reasonably young, but a veteran. At third base, they have to fix. I don't know if any of the young kids are ready to step into either one of those two spots. They could definitely use another arm. I mean, Montez hasn't panned out. Rodon will hope for stays healthy and pitches well, but Severino's done. So another arm another veteran arm, another reliever, especially a closer would be good. They don't have a closer, and a left fielder and a third baseman. If I'm the Yankees, I'm going youth in as many places as I can. But those spots, I want some veterans and I want some guys who can make you better immediately. So those are where I would concentrate on.
You're bringing you're talking about a lot of different people, man. That's a lot that's a lot of players.
Yes. Yeah. The thing is, the Yankees for the last few years have not had a good, solid left fielder. They brought Donaldson in a trade. That didn't work out to play third base. I don't know if any of the young kids are ready to step in and play third base for this team. So I think you need a veteran there. But, there's plenty of spots. Now, one of these kids could work out for left field. I love this kid, Dominguez. He's 20 years old. They call him the Martian because his talent's out of this world. He's been impressive so far. I mean, he jumped from Double A ball, quick cup of coffee in Triple A, and now he's playing in the pros. First at bat last Friday night, hit a home run. Just has been really good. So I think there's some good youth on this team. They need a couple more veterans to round it out. Again, like I said, pitching, a little bit of pitching, not too much. Left field, right field, left field, third base are two big positions Yankees have to clean up.
Judge,
have to.
What are you going to do with Judge? This guy gets hurt every year, misses time every single fucking year. They signed him to a big deal. Do you try to trade him? Is he tradable? Do you work around him? What, do you make him full-time DH? What?
Yeah, it's a good question. I don't think you could trade him. He's got a big contract. I think he, for lack of a better way, he's the franchise, and he's the marquee to play. And listen, I got it. He missed 70 games this year, I think it was, or 60 games. He's still hitting 30-something home runs. When he's playing, he's a hell of a player. Keeping him healthy, here's the thing. When players get healthy, I want to say, what are the injuries? So, like Mike Trout, Jeff, got hurt this year swinging the bat. All he did was take a swing, missed the ball, and hurt his arm and was out. And then came back one game after missing months and didn't feel right and was out again. To me, that's more worrisome than a guy who's playing hard. And Judge got hurt. He was running hard, went to make a play of a ball against the fence, and the fence opened up and he hurt his foot. So to me, that's a different injury than a guy who tweaks it swinging the bat or pulls a hammy every week. Those are nagging and injuries where the guy's just injury prone. But when you're playing hard and you run into the fence and you jam a toe, I got to say it's unlucky, not injury prone.
Well, what about the rest of his career where he gets hurt every other year and misses time?
Well,
you got to look at the overall picture, Tom. The guy misses time every single year because of an injury.
Well, the first year was he got hit with the ball in the forearm. The next year, I think it had to do with the home run derby. He was lighting up the league. He had 50 homers. He was flying, and also he went to the home run derby. And I think he wrecked his shoulder in that, and he wasn't the same for over a month. So. Yes, I agree.
He is in his career where he gets hurt, he misses 30, 40 games. And you said that he missed 70 games this year. Let's just look. I mean, it would be impossible to look at these numbers right now.
Sure.
If you knew what the Yankees' record was, if he missed 70 games and you knew what their record was, if they were 30 and 40, and if he was there, they would have been 50 and 20. Then the Yankees are in the playoffs at this point in time. So
I agree. I think if Yankee, I'm going to put it on Yankee record without Aaron Judge. No, I would agree with you. If he stayed healthy this year, the Yankees are a much different team because with him, let's see, I think it's much better. Yankees record. That was last year. I can't. Yankees 2023 record without Aaron Judge. See if they give it to you. So he missed. I'm sorry. It was 54 games, and they were 24 and 30 without him.
All right. So even if they went 30 and 24, that's still, a better record than, you know what I mean?
Yep. No. I don't think you could trade him. I don't think you want to trade him. Yeah, you got to kind of hope. Yes, I would love for them to make him more of a full-time DH. I think he's still too young, and I think he's still too athletic, and I don't think he'd be happy about it. But I would like to see him go. But the problem is you guys like Stanton and others who are full-time DHs. So to keep them all on the team and playing, I think you kind of have to keep him in the outfield as much as possible.
Well, I guess you'll know more about that next year and see what happens and what they want to do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does going forward, but it's just a matter to me. It's like, well, you can't have this guy out there every year and get hurt. You know what I mean? And it takes what's going on here. I see Frank Jeffrey says throw. I hope he means Mahomes.
It was Jared Goff. But the pass was complete, and nobody challenged it, and they moved on. The Lions are driving. They're on the 42 of the Chiefs. 2nd and 11. 8 minutes left in the first half. And I got to tell you, the Browns look, wow, nice pass. They are now inside the 20, inside the 30, and driving for another score. And I got to tell you, the Lions look good. They've done nothing here to show you that they won't. They're not here to play. So I don't like the all white uniforms. I like a little gray. I like the blue jerseys with the gray pants. This all white uniform, other than the blue numbers and stuff, I don't like it, Jeff. Just don't like it.
Listen. I hear you. Jamar Gibbs, 3 of 18, long of 17. What is he benched? What the fuck?
No, he's not benched, but they're throwing the ball quite a bit right now, and they have the other back is in the game. Being featured. Montgomery is being featured right now. So, but I'm hoping they're getting closer to the goal line. They'll bring Gibbs in, and he'll be the finisher here. We'll stay in the air, finish this drive, and then we're going to call it a night. It's been a lot of fun today doing the show as always. So Jared Goff, 8 of 11, 97 yards and a TD, no interceptions. So Jeff, one thing I have to say is we got pretty good quarterback play on the Hard Rocket Sports Fantasy team.
Yeah, if only we're able to use a quarterback as a flex, man.
Yeah, that would be right. I think so. Okay, Gibbs gets the pass, just runs for about 10 or 11 yards.
That's okay.
That's it. No, it's a catch and about 11 yards on the thing. So Gibbs showing himself pretty good here.
Listen, I didn't even look at that. Let's see if he's done anything else with the fucking ball through the that's fun. Yeah. You know, take your time here, Mr. Gibbs. That was the first pass for 8 yards.
Yep, a nice job. I see where the line scrimmage was. Nice job. Get him the ball, Jared. So the Hard Rocket Sports team needs an opening win. He's still on the team, still on the field at this point. Fumble. Goff picks it up and he falls on it. A bad snap puts Detroit way back now. 2nd down and long. Was it a bad snap or did he just miss it? He snapped it early because Goff did not see it coming. So everybody else moved. I think this is on Goff, to be honest with you. Everybody else moved. Goff was the only one not paying attention to the ball. It hit the receiver coming across. Jeff, interesting. Very interesting. Long snap. It hit the receiver coming in motion and bounced away from Goff. Luckily to get it back. 2nd and 20. Again, around the 28-yard line. Gibbs on the catch for about another 7 yards. So, Jeff, piling up the fantasy points, Jeff.
Yeah, listen, there's Jamar Gibbs in his first game threatening Jerry Rice and everything that he did over the years.
Yes, he has. He is still in the game. Montgomery came in and went right back out, so Gibbs is still in there. Hopefully, they're going to feature him here on the 3rd and 10. Let's see what this play does. Where is Gibbs? He is split out, or is he out of the game? There's no backs in the backfield. Nope, he's split out. Let's see if they get him the ball on a bubble screen. Nope, they go the other side for a fumble, and the Chiefs have it. A bad series. In field goal range, now a fumble by the Lions, not Gibbs, thank God. And that series is over, and the Chiefs have the ball turning around. So this is our cue to kill this night. I want to thank everybody who tuned in and everybody hung with us, Frankie, and of course my man Adam Hines and Fester, my dad, everybody who has hit me up off the air, and all the people who listen and tell me about it every week. What Jeff and I do. Thank you to our good buddy Dom up in heaven for letting us know that Jesus drives a Prius. And to Lucha Libre, we look forward to his report next week. Hefe, I'll give you the last word on the show tonight.
Well, listen, man, it was interesting. The talk of the flight
Yes.
I think was the highlight of the night.
It might be. Yes. Yeah, you never know what you're going to hear on this show, Jeff. You never know what you're going to hear.
I think we all fucking cried a little bit with that one. That was a good one.
That's good. That was a good 15 minutes. Listen, you never know what you're going to hear on this show. So it ain't all about music and sports. Sometimes we get a little poop in there or social justice or whatever. So thank you very much, Adam. Again, guys, check out bands like Fester and Black Sasquatch and Jeff Westlake and so many others that when you're searching for something to listen, these guys are just fantastic musicians, putting great product out there. And don't waste your time with the Greta Van Fleets of the world. Check out Fester and Black Sasquatch when you got a minute. Fun bands, good, serious music, rock and roll.
Bisexual singers.
Oh yes, unless you like bisexual singers, then of course, by all means, check out Greta Van Fleet. But anyway, Jeff, you got the last word. We'll call it a night right here.
No, man, that's it. Now my real work begins. I gotta go get laundry detergent and fill up the wife's car with what do you call it? Gas.
Oh.
And then I gotta wake the dog up, who's not gonna be very happy about this. This is where I get bit.
Well, on that note, again, thanks to everybody for tuning in. We look forward to doing this again next week. I hope you guys are managing the heat. It's going to be some rain over the weekend, but I'm sure the weather's going to get better soon.
Are you outside working all of this?
Every day, Jeff. Every day.
Oh my God.
It's brutal. I have to tell you, it's brutal. Tuesday, I would officially say at 1:00, I hit my shanty in my office. The air conditioning was out and I was exhausted. I had nothing left. And I sat in the chair for about 15, 20 minutes trying to regain myself and just didn't have anything left in the tank. Walking up and down the building. We're up 10 stories and I walk up and down, 7, 8 stories at a clip. You too there, Adam. Have a good night.
Be good, Adam.
I was exhausted and done. So, but hopefully it'll get better and we'll get some cooler weather coming in the near future. In the meantime, everybody drink lots of fluids, stay in the air conditioning best you can, and listen to the Hard Rock and Sports Show every Thursday night from 7 to 9 o'clock. So on that note, for Jeff Tolwinski, myself, and everybody here at the Hard Rock and Sports Show, I tell you, have a great night, have a great weekend, a great week, and we'll see you back here next Thursday night, hopefully in first place in the Hard Rock and Sports at Staten Island Football Fantasy League. So
I got a feeling we're going to be the ones that everybody's out going after, man.
Well, we're definitely going to be the most annoying, and we're definitely going to make sure that we're the most arrogant. So we better win and make it have some fun. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But I'll catch you off the air. Hefe, have a great night. Thanks for jumping in.
All right, man. You got it, dude. Thank you.
Catch you later, pal.
Later.